This is DJB. Welcome to Photocritic TV, episode 43. Big 4-3. Is that big? It's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate 50.
The 1 million.
Not the millionth. We're going to do something special. Should we give something? Let's give something away. Episode 50. Your hat.
Signed autograph.
We're going to give Aaron's hat away, whether he likes it or not.
I like my hat.
Bad luck. Guys.
I won the start of the ball with this hat.
Oh, wow.
I'll explain on my blog later.
Yeah. You know about that. Start of the ball, Aaron. So, Photocritic TV. It's totally free. Go to the website, photocritictv.com, if you want to have us review your photographs. For those of you that don't know, I'm a photographer here in Melbourne, Australia. Have a look at my website, djbworldphotography.com, if you want. If not, tune out now. I don't care.
It's free will. Free choice.
Do what you like. It's your decision. Joanne and Nathan, welcome to the show, peeps. That's who's up in this episode. And Aaron, photo critiques and dedications.
Oh yeah, done my homework.
Yeah. Who's up? Who's this one going out to?
D Purple Heart. Don't laugh.
Hang on, that's a cool name.
Oh, look, purple's my favourite colour.
D Purple Heart. Well done for the name and for being dedicated.
If I married someone like that, I'd take their name.
Yeah, so would I actually. That's pretty sweet. Well done, D. Joanne, how's it going? Thanks for your photographs. And let's get into it. So, Joanne's got a Canon 1100D and she's using the 55 to 250mm lens and random landscape photos that I really like and I've driven past a few times. Okay, cool. So for those of you that don't know, the 1100D is actually Canon's, I think now it's their entry-level digital SLR, and it's actually really good alternative to the Nikon 3200. It's probably cheaper than, no, it's about the same price as the 3200, but the 3200's got 24 megapixel CCD, so I'd probably look at that instead. Breathe. And first one, Lauren. Okay, so first thing, Lauren, nice photograph. I'm always interested to see what black and white photographs look like in colour, what they would have looked like in colour, because like I've said in the past, there's normally going to be a reason to convert to black and white. Like, what's your reason to convert this to black and white? Were the greens on the grass and the trees really distracting? I actually think in this case, because I guess here our bridge is the subject. When you convert this image to black and white, the bridge, the trees, the grass, the sky, everything's black and white, so it's harder to make out the subject from its environment. If it was in colour, then we'd be able to tell more easily that, you know, we'll be able to break apart each of the main areas of the subject more easily, I guess. So, not a bad shot. What I would have done is just a little bit cropped this photograph just a tiny bit, because there's some kind of little black outline of a tree just on the left hand side there. You want to crop that out, so bring it in a little bit. But it's just a little bit busy, I'm finding here. It's hard to make out, there's a lot going on. I think we need more of a subject. So if you had a person standing in the front area here, in the foreground here, that would definitely strengthen the image, because we need something to lock onto as a viewer. And at the moment, I don't really have anything to lock onto, if you know what I mean. So, nice one. Would have liked to see what that looked like in colour, but that's okay. Let's go to the next one. Nice one, Joanne. So, this particular photograph, so I'm finding that the strong horizontal lines here actually kind of divide this image up into 1, 2, 3 different parts. Okay, so you've got the top bit, which is just the very top of the bridge, and then you've got the under the bridge, and then you've got the foreground, and almost you've got another bit there, which is just the bank, so where the mud hits the water. So that's kind of like 4 different, so it's kind of in quarters. I would have actually tried to simplify this a lot more. So so the bridge that's there, I probably would have tried to zoom in a little bit more, so the top of that image starts at the underneath part of the bridge. So in other words, like this, if you can see that, where I've kind of got this frame. So it starts up there, and then you've got the top third kind of taken up by under the bridge, and then the bottom third taken up by the rest of the image. So we're simplifying it into 2 parts instead of 4. But interesting photograph. I think that the graffiti there in the top right is a little bit distracting as well. So I would have definitely tried to crop this image a little bit more, zoom in a bit more, so bring it in from the top right, so that we can't see the graffiti and we can't see the big cement part of the bridge. That's about it. I think that's probably what I would have done to improve it, but I do like I like how you've left this one in colour. I'm not sure what it would have looked like in black and white, but good one, leaving in colour, because we can see the kind of reddiness and dirtiness of that water, so it adds a bit more character to the photograph. Photograph 3, Lauren. Lauren, why did I just call Joanne Lauren?
I don't know.
Did we do a Lauren in last episode?
No, you mistook a Megs for Lauren.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but you're Joanne, you're not Lauren. So Joanne, it's OTBL Photograph 3 time, which means we're going over to Aaron. He's the guy behind the camera. What's happening?
Yeah.
Not a lot?
No.
Okay. In case you don't know, sorry, I'm just kind of half asleep, so I'm very
Zoned
slow.
out.
Yep, zoned out to another world. Every episode, third photograph goes to Aaron, who's never seen it before. OTBL Photograph 3. Off the bat, that stands for. And be on the frame with Aaron. I'm just going to tag him in. I'm going to show him this photograph. He's got 7 seconds, and then he's going to get back to me. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Take it. 7 seconds. Joanne, not Lauren. Take your time. Take your time. It's okay. That was only 4 seconds. 5.
Script doesn't equal elegant.
Script. As in the font. As in her Joanne's watermark down the bottom left.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Not so much.
So, for once, I think I actually agree with what you're saying. We shouldn't do that. I don't want to agree with you.
For once, you've come up to my level.
So, Joanne, I think we're going to talk about this for a little bit. We're going to have an intervention. Yeah.
This is a safe space.
So
we love you.
Yeah. Aaron likes to call himself. I call him a font geek, and he calls himself a
Fontographer.
He's a fontographer, and what that means is he's a complete font geek. All right. So this font that you've chosen is some kind of script font. Don't use it. Is that what you're saying? Don't use a script font.
Yeah.
Don't use a script font. Also,
I'll take it from here.
okay.
Okay.
I'll just sit back.
Yeah. Sit
Tune
back,
in.
relax.
Tune in.
Relax.
Thanks.
Have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my computer. All right.
That doesn't give you anything.
Just get on.
Basically, what I think most photographers sort of choose really scripty fonts, thinking it's really elegant or
Okay.
for weddings or
As their watermark. As their
as
logo.
their logo or watermark. And the script fonts are really hard to read at the best of times, especially when you make them small and down the bottom. I mean, I guess that's kind of the point. They're not supposed to be there, but they're not there, but
You've still got to be able to read it.
you still want to be able to read it. And I think there's nothing wrong with using a serif or a sans serif to still get elegance.
Okay, so basically, Joanne, with fonts, you've got serif, sans serif, and script. Is that right?
And handwriting.
And handwriting. Okay, so Aaron's saying stay away from handwriting, stay away from script, and go with serif or sans serif. So they're like just the simple fonts. And the other thing Aaron, I think, was talking about is you've got a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters there. Keep it either all upper or all lower. Don't go capital JD, then capital I, and then a lower and blah blah blah. Don't mix it up. Simplify it. Is that
Because
right?
the capitals don't work in script.
Okay.
So even if it's just upper and lower, it's fine, but if you've got two uppers next to each other, it doesn't work.
So, but only in script.
And a lot of script fonts, the capital letters for a lot of words don't look good at all. Like
Okay.
the capital I,
So-
for example, looks terrible in script.
So script fonts generally don't use them in capitals at all,
No.
or just don't use them at all.
It's like on using on wedding invites. Everyone puts script fonts on wedding invites, and same thing. You can get away with some really classy looking wedding invites without script.
Yeah. So the other thing we were going to talk about was leading and kerning. So this is basically when we're talking about spacing the spacing between each letter, right?
That's kerning, yeah.
Kerning. So the kerning is the spacing between each letter. If you're just putting this, I don't know how you're adding text to these images, but if you're using Lightroom on export, you can get a little plugin called Mogrify, LR Mogrify, and that will allow you to choose the kerning, so the letter spacing on export, right? So you want to basically add more spacing than the default spacing, so that it's easier to read.
So the
and
font
leading, just quickly, leading is basically line height or distance between two lines. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, you're stealing my thunder now. Just take your seat. Just take your seat. I got this one.
Here's your thunder.
Yeah.
What? What else have you got?
In the second photo, I don't know, down the bottom of this one, you got. That's out of focus, but yeah, clearly I'm not doing my job. I can't concentrate on two things at once.
Yeah.
You used
get on with it.
a different font.
Okay.
On the middle photo.
So consistency, Joanne. So this one thing, you know, we actually decided. I don't know why, or we've decided to pick on you for your fonts.
I've
Nothing personal, but trust me, every single person does this. Every photographer. I mean, I know so many photographers that, like, you can't even read their logos. Like, that totally defeats the purpose of a watermark or a logo, because you want to actually be able to read it. So, and you want to make it look nice and elegant. So keep it consistent. What Aaron was saying was, in the middle photograph you've used a different font than you have in the other two photographs. So you think the actual non-script font that she's chosen is better?
That looks better, but what I would do is either have it all lowercase or all uppercase, make it a little bit smaller and put some kerning in there.
Okay.
Letter spacing. So, or put, for example, JD inspired, or put it all in capitals, JD inspired on the top line, and with a bit of kerning, so it takes up the width of photography underneath.
Okay.
In capitals,
nice.
or something like that. So it's more of a nice squarey rectangle spacing.
So you got two lines for the...
Two lines. So JD inspired in capitals on one line,
and then
with a bit of kerning.
Yeah.
That takes up the width of the word photography underneath, also in capitals.
Yeah, nice.
And change the leading so it's quite tight.
Okay. The leading, in other words, the space between the two lines, so they're quite close together, is what you're saying. Okay.
But the top line with the letters are far apart enough to take up the width of the word photography.
You got that, Joanne? Cool. I hope so. It's alright. If you missed it, just replay it. Thanks though, Joanne. No, seriously, we do appreciate you sending in your photographs, and you got a good start there, especially because you're obviously just beginning because you've got like a kit lens and the entry level digital SLR. But just remember that with watermarking, and trust me, you are not the only one doing this. There's other photographers that I've seen that they really need to change that watermark up and just change their logo generally. You know what I mean?
Tag me out on that one.
Tag out. Okay, Nathan. Welcome, Nath. So, Nath is from Noble Park, and let's get to it. What's he got? Nikon D300S and 50mm lens. Congrats photographer, long day off. Can't paint or draw. Camera's much of a create for me. Images are quite urban and border on surreal. I have every shot look can't exist. I try and have every shot look like it can't really exist in this world. Okay, hope you like them. Nice. Sounds like something that comes out of a Tim Burton movie.
What? Sorry, I tuned out.
Look at you.
Sorry.
You say your piece.
Yeah, I'd almost walked away.
Don't worry. Okay, so Nate. Cool. First photograph. I like this, and I'm just going to say the same thing I said before. Why did you go to black and white? Is it just because you like black and white photography, or is it actually that you found that the colours were distracting? I'd be interested to see this photograph in colour just to check that out. In terms of composition, create some more space around this chair. So step back a bit, zoom out so we can see more of its environment. That crop feels a little bit tight for me, and the fact that you've zoomed in so far, it's making it harder to compose this image so that it's pleasing to the eye. So it's harder to make this nicer looking because when you're zoomed in more, when you have a tighter crop, you can't play with negative space as easily. So step back, create some more space, and show the chair in its environment. Okay, so that's that thing. And also, I noticed that you're kind of cutting off the cement block that the chair's sitting on. So we want to really see that. That's another reason just to step back. And in doing that, when you step back, you can move the chair more to the right, create some more space on the left. Okay. Nice one though. I like it. It's a sharp image. Next one, nice photograph. Good symmetry here, mostly, except a couple of things. So look at the strongest lines in this image are the horizontal lines of those planks of wood, and they're not actually straight. The left hand side is lower than the right hand side. Straighten the lines, straighten the strongest lines in the image, okay? Do that, and then also the top left, you got the tiles just in the top left hand corner. That really does kind of ruin the symmetry of this image. So I think this image would have been a lot stronger if you had, not that you could have done this with these particular bike racks or whatever they are there, but if you had those planks running across from left to right taking up the full image, that would have been better, because these, I think the angle that you've chosen is good, but again, the tiles coming in on the left, they kind of ruin it a little bit. So keep on going though, Nathan, but great shot. And that's it for episode 43. I'll catch you next time.